Hey folks, let's learn something new about the oil and gas industry. All right, people have been hammering me like crazy. Mark, when are you going to do your predictions for 2016? Or even have people reach out in the podcast wanting to know when it's going to happen. So we're going to do it right now. So this is our top 10 business drivers for 2016. Number one, increase interest rates. We think the interest rates are going to go up in 2016, which is going to increase the cost of capital. Now, unfortunately, for a lot of the smaller upstream operators in North America, because they've lost a lot of their hedging already, to increase the cost of their capital is actually going to hurt them even more. But it is going to be one of the business drivers in 2016. Number two, operational excellence. So operational excellence got its start in automotive, and the oil and gas industry has dabbled in it before. In fact, we did this big long blog post about operational excellence in oil and gas. We'll put a link in the show notes. But going forward, upstream and the service companies that service upstream are going to have to improve efficiencies. So they're going to have to change their culture, the way they think about stuff. Things like continuous improvement, which they don't touch right now, has got to become core to their business. So number two business driver in 2016 oil and gas, operational excellence. Number three, talent. And I'm telling you, people think I'm crazy. There's still a huge shortage of talent in this industry. Yes, there's been layoffs in upstream and the service companies that touch upstream, but downstream and midstream are hiring like crazy. In fact, there's not enough bodies out there. And one of the things that's new is there's a lack of skilled talent, right? Skilled labor. So things like pipe fitters, machinists, welders, there's not enough of them to meet the need. So that shortage is going to drive business decisions. So number three is a lack of talent. Number four, export. And I should have saw this coming, but I just recently figured this out. You know, here in the US, we import about 20 million barrels a day, but we don't use 20 million barrels a day. We use 14. The other 6 are export. And what it is the US has the most robust, efficient, and largest refining capacity in the world, right? And when I say refinery, most people think fuels, jet fuel, diesel, gasoline. No, think of all the petrochemicals. So we think a major business driver, and it's going to be a bit of a new business, is the exportation of refined goods from the US, right? Number five, crude prices. Now we said over a year ago that we thought crude would get back to $60 a barrel in April. We still are saying that oil will get back to $60 a barrel, but now we're thinking it's more like August, but it will happen in 2016. But it won't go back to $90 or $100 a barrel. So the industry as a whole is have to learn how to work in that $60 to $75 price range, which for most of the guys is totally fine. That's going to be another business driver, is the return of $60 a barrel of crude oil. Number six, technology. This industry is adapting new technology faster than I've ever seen it anywhere. Things like big data, analytics, efficiencies, Internet of Things, which we call the digital oil field, cybersecurity, right? With all these new pipelines and refineries being built, there's more points of entry for the bad guy, because all of a sudden cybersecurity is not something that just the IT managers worry about. The business is worried about cybersecurity. Data-driven drilling, right? The upstream guys have to become more efficient in their operations. They can't just spray and pray, so they have to harness the power of big data and analytics to figure out where they drill. And the whole thing is they want to make sure they stay in that top quartile of production, which they can by using data. So number six, business driver in oil and gas in 2016, technology. Number seven, gas. What else can I say? Natural gas is everywhere. The world has a huge need for natural gas. We're developing the technologies and infrastructure in place to mush it down in liquid so we can move it. That's all the LNG plants that are going on. It's much cleaner, much better for the environment. Here and in Europe, we're switching from coal-powered electrical plants to natural gas-powered power plants. So that's another huge business driver in 2016 is gas. Then shifting global markets, right? There are things going on in the globe that have never happened before in oil and gas. You have the Middle East starting to sell oil and gas to Europe. That's always been Russia's market. Well, in order for Russia to maintain some money, now they're starting to sell stuff to the Middle East. I mean, not the Middle East, to Asia Pacific, which they've never done that before either. China's buying crude like crazy and increasing their strategic reserves at one point, and they're also building refineries like crazy. Saudi Aramco is building refineries. They've never done that. The Middle East, even though they've produced a lot of crude, historically has imported all refined products. So you're seeing literally shifts in the global markets. And once again, it's a major business driver in 2016. And number nine, downstream. Downstream is where it's at. For years, if you had some product or solution that you wanted to sell in oil and gas, you went after upstream or the service companies because they had all the money. That's gone. For 2016, it's going to be downstream. They're making money hand over fist. Think about it. Think about if you made men's shirts and somebody cut the cost of your raw cotton by 40%. Your business would explode in growth, right? Because your raw feedstock got cut by 40%. That's what's going on in downstream right now. Their raw feedstock is crude and natural gas. And it's not just fuels. Think plastics, petrochemicals, fertilizers. That business is crazy in 2016. So if your company wants to sell stuff to oil and gas, you need to be looking at downstream. Then, finally, number 10, 2016, we're going to be in a hydrocarbon abundant world. That has not happened in my lifetime, right? Because of new technologies and new ways to stimulate wells, we're not going to have an absence of hydrocarbons. They're everywhere. Prices will stay low. Access will be easy for a lot of people. We're going to see the standards of living for a lot of countries go up because they have access to cheap and abundant energy. How wonderful is that? So there we go, our top 10 business drivers for 2016, our prediction. Can you do me a favor? If you like this, will you click one of these social share buttons and help us spread our message out there? It helps us reach a bigger audience, which in turn just helps us get better information, which in turn means we can help you better. So folks, I hope this helped. We will see you next time.